This is not a drill.
What's up, No Show fam? It has been a while, man, and I'm happy to talk to you guys tonight. So, we're doing a little impromptu episode tonight. I know it's been a minute. I've received quite a few messages asking when the new episode was, and let me just be completely honest. I've been busy. Been involved in a few other things. My real employment has been bussing, so been steady busy with that. And to be honest, I enjoy doing this, but it is not bringing a single dollar. So unfortunately, podcasting falls to the bottom of the life priority list. If I were making a ton of money from this, I would obviously do it more often, but I don't do it for that reason. So like I've said in earlier episodes, like this is a hobby, man. I just want to talk every now and then. And I know it's been a month or so, but let's chat right now, man. Life gets busy. The people, that's how I can gauge my true friendships. Like if life hits some of those busy points where it's more about getting your work done, solitude, family life, whatever the reason is, you got those people that are still with you. Like you can just pick up where you left off. Some of my best friends, I won't talk to for a couple weeks, but when we do talk, it's like we pick up where we left off, and that's fine. Like you got life, I got life, everybody got life, That being said, there's a benefit to me doing this as a hobby and not making money. And that benefit is for you that you get a true, honest opinion. I'm not swayed about money. I don't receive anything for having a certain, perspective or viewpoint. It's just us chilling and talking, man. So anyway, I want to make an episode for you guys tonight. It's been a minute. Just watched the LSU game tonight. Disappointing, I know. I'm an LSU fan. LSU games literally can affect me for days. It hurts my soul when LSU loses. I'm not one of these come lately LSU fans that's been, around since we were winning championships. My parents were bringing me to games during the Kevin Falk days, during the DiNardo era, during the paper bag over the head LSU days. So, and I went to school there. I paid money there. I lived and breathed. Blood, sweat, and tears, LSU. I'm all the way. Season ticket holder for 10 plus years. Look, I'm right there with you. But we have to remember one thing, okay? I tell people this all the time. Look, Coach O and that one season, magical. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if it'll ever happen again, but it truly was magic. Okay. Number two, out of any current or former college coach, Coach O is probably the one dude I would pick to go drink a beer with. I love that guy. But erase that one season and consider the circumstances LSU is under when he left. Not that great of a coach. Maybe an unpopular opinion and hard to hear, but it's true. Okay. What Brian Kelly inherited was a mess, an absolute mess. And what we're seeing this year is a team that is not up to SEC talent standards. It's not up to LSU standards, but this is what we have. And from game one, and you saw it in the fourth quarter of game one, you've seen it in a couple games since, you saw the grit in our Mississippi State game. These kids are fighters, man. We are under talented, but they go to war. They try. Let me tell you one thing. Listen to this right here. Tennessee is going to compete for the SEC championship. They have Bama next week at home, and it's not going to shock me if they win. They are that good, okay? So, yes, it hurts when we lose, but you take away that muffed kickoff, the punt where we allow them basically to get back to their own 25-ish yard line. You took away look, you start a game with those plays and those mistakes on special teams. I don't care if you're Bama. I don't care what team you are. You're going to struggle that game. And that's what happened to us, man. I would have loved to have seen the outcome of that game. I don't think we would have won. I think Tennessee is far superior, talent-wise, everything-wise. But you take away those crucial mistakes in the beginning of that game, I would love to have seen the outcome. I bet it would have been different. So there's a lot of, us LSU fans, man, and I'm guilty too. I'm part of this, but we're so bad, man. We're so bad. Put the quarterback. Let's see the backup. Let's see Nussmeier. Let's get out. Jaden Daniels is terrible. I was all over him after game 1, man. He holds the ball too long, yada, yada. But let me tell you what, Jaden Daniels is not the root of our problems right now. We have some pretty significant issues. Yeah, our offensive tackle was out this game. Offensive line was atrocious. We didn't even have 60 yards rushing the entire game. And yes, we fell behind early, but trust me, if we could be getting 4, 5, 6 yards a carry, we would have still been rushing the ball. We did not even get over 60. So, yes, they got pressure on our QB all night. He's not a pocket passer, okay? He's a run-first guy, and if he has no protection, it's not going to end well. So, that being said, I'm not blaming the kid. I think the O-line, we have some serious work to do on special teams. I don't understand why we're muffing kickoffs and punts, and that's a player thing, but man, something is up with the special teams this year. It's bad. So anyway, there's my take on the LSU game. You know what? Let's bear with this dude. Let's keep with BK. What he was able to do with talent at Notre Dame, which keep in mind, they have no in-state recruits there. Any good player that BK got at Notre Dame, he had to get on a plane to go get, okay? Louisiana is a 180 opposite from what he had at Notre Dame. We have a homegrown talent pool here that is top in the nation. Let's give the dude some time, man. Yeah, he made some stupid calls this game, but you know what? He knew Tennessee was that much better than us. So he was willing to take the risk on fourth down. He was willing to do some stuff that normally probably no coach would do. But he knew we were going to have to take some risk if there was even an opportunity, a glimpse of us winning that game. Okay? So don't hate on the guy, man. And coming from me, I'm the number one hater when I feel like somebody's doing wrong at LSU because I'm invested in it. Like my season tickets depend on you doing well for me to get a return on my investment. So I'm sitting here as the number one hater telling you, chill, let this man work a year or two. Okay? Let's see what next year looks like. I think 2 years from now, we're competing. Okay? He's got amazing recruits coming in. What he is working with now was what was here, essentially. All right, let's see what the man can do. So I ain't willing to sell on that yet. Let's see what BK can do. I think Jaden's improving. I think those kids fight pretty hard, man. I just think they're there's more talent on a lot of these other SEC teams. So we'll see where that goes. What else? Let's see. Oh, hey, you might be saying, Joe, what is that sexy shirt you got on? Chavez, Shreveport, right? Even looks pretty clean in the black and white. I might even wear this outfit to P-Row, man. Throw on them Air Force Ones, put me on some good jeans. I don't know. Let me talk about this for 1 second. My boy Mario. Let me just say, I like him. I like the staff around him. I'm not a fan of politicians, as you know. Doesn't matter the party. I don't like them. Because I've grown up in that environment. I understand politicians and politics and all that. Let's say that first. But let me tell you why I decided to rep this shirt on a podcast. My boy Mario is a little bit diffy. Okay? What do you mean, Joe? Are you willing to put your name out there on him? Let me explain. I'm not 100% familiar with Mario's politics. I watched a couple videos, heard a couple stances that I did like. But let me tell you what's different about him versus some of these other yahoos. This dude really does care about his city, okay? And that point alone will automatically qualify him over all of these other, power hungry, whatever. Look, we got to stop being tricked by these guys, man. I don't care. I mean, I was laughing earlier at the John Kennedy commercial. Call a crackhead. I mean, bro, look, I'm not going to give a political stance on that statement. I'm just going to say that what these politicians say on TV or publish or whatever, 99% of the time is the complete opposite of what they do. That includes the presidents. That includes everybody. And once you start understanding that fact and quit believing the rhetoric and the talk and, oh, well, he had to have done such and such because he got on TV and said he was going to do that. Nah. I could sit here for an hour and just give you tip of the iceberg examples of whoever, whichever president, whichever politician you want to talk about. I can give you a million examples of what they have said versus what they have actually done. And when you drop all the worship that y'all people out there are doing and look at these people objectively, which they're just people that want power. 99% of the time, it's people that want power. They don't care about you. They don't care about, what they're going to do. They want that recognition. It's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like it's a self-actualization. That's why the majority of these people do what they do, okay? And the stances they take are also based on that opinion. One could say something, get a negative reaction from the voter base. All of a sudden, well, that's not what I meant. What I meant was, it's all a game. But let me tell you what, this guy, there's one thing I do know about him. I'm not going to put my stamp of approval on him. But there's one thing I will say about him. He does want the best for the city. Like, this is homegrown love from this dude to Shreveport. And Shreveport needs some help, man. It really does. So, like I said, that's going to automatically qualify him over this goober that's in there now or all the other people that are running for this that just want the recognition and, oh, this is a stepping stone to something else. I don't know Mario's what he ultimately wants, but I do know that genuinely he does want the best for his city, man, and he wants to change stuff. He knows it's bad, so that automatically qualifies him. And I love to have more conversation with him on this topic, but for now, because the dude got love, and it doesn't even affect me that much because I don't ever cross that bridge, but I'm gonna give him a shot, man. And I don't say that about any other politician, but I would be willing to give this dude a shot. Like, he is genuine. So Anyway, enough politic talk, enough with the LSU football. Let's get into some other topics, man. Let me see what. I wrote a couple notes down about stuff I want to talk about. Let's talk about life in general. There's something I kind of want to bring out that's it's not necessarily a happy topic, but it is a reality, okay? As you may have noticed, I've been a little bit more absent from social media, okay? The reason is just that there's a lot of haters out there, man. There's a lot of haters. There's a lot of people that pretend to be your friend that are haters. That's the hard truth, okay? There's a lot of people that smile in your face or want to hang out or just they want to be involved and they'll tell you everything you want to hear. But in the end, they would take that knife and stick it in your back, okay? We have to understand that, all right? I know a lot of people out there that are trying to get on the hustle, that are trying to start their own business, all this stuff, man. I see the people on Facebook and I don't blame them. I see the people talking about, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And, you know, they doing all these big things on Facebook, on social media. Look, that's cool if you need it for that motivation, man. But what I've figured out is if you're going to hustle and you really mean it, hustle in silence, man. Because the majority of people are not really your fans. And I hate to say that, man. It sucks. But look, our major problem as citizens on this earth is that we think emotionally. We want to believe in the best of people, right? And that's a good thing because there is good in humanity out there. But what you have to understand is that that's few and far between, okay? The majority of people out there would cut your throat if it benefited them in a heartbeat. So all these I'm rich people on Facebook and all these people like, here's how you make money, look at me, or taking pictures of their trips and, taking pictures of $100 bills and flashing it. Man, it's garbage. Let me tell you what. I worked as a commercial lender in one of the premier banks in this region, and we weren't like a big bank like a Chase or anything. This was strictly a business bank at that time. So we dealt with some of the wealthiest clientele in this whole region. And let me tell you what, the guys very rarely were the guys that always wore the suits, that drove the flashy cars. Very rarely were they actually the most good-looking people financially, right? Like balance sheet wise, that ain't it, man. Because there's something you learn as you do get a little money along, get ahead in life. You don't want to flaunt it. You don't want to. Trust me. What did Biggie say? More money, more problems. As you get more wealthy, you figure out that is true. Okay? So if there is a goal you have, if there is a business you want to start, whatever, it's fine to try and, get customers locally, but definitely do not base your success on the opinions of the local people. Okay. And this doesn't just go for this area. This is anywhere. There's more out there. I will tell you this. I have a side business and I would love to sit here and name a few of my friends. And when I say friends, I mean people that I don't necessarily hang out with every day and stuff like that. But you can count on one hand the number of people that helped me with that idea, or the people that were positive about it, or the people that even purchased from me. Okay. Count on one hand. The far majority of people told me, stupid, you're going to fail, that kind of thing. Well, that's now figure business, and none of my customers are local. I mean, very few. Now, like I said, I'm not throwing out everybody. Trust me, there's some names here I'd love to drop that down with Joe G from day one, no matter what the idea was. And those are those are the good people. But the majority said no. And if I would have listened to them, I would have stopped doing that. And you know what? It's something I worked at for probably 2 years before I even got my first official sale. So just remember that, man. My biggest tip on this conversation, just hustle in silence. You don't have to tell everybody. You don't have, because people gossip, man. You might be excited and tell somebody that you consider a friend about your business. Those dudes or chicks are going to go straight to somebody else and be like, listen what this dumbass idea had. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna talk it down, gossip about it. You don't need that, man. And it is true. Like the older you get, it does seem a little bit like the fewer friends you have or the fewer people you consider friends. I think that maybe more because you recognize like what you want in a friend. So they're really just fewer people that you consider friends. So anyway, not trying to get deep and emotional on that. I'm just telling you, man, that's the reality. Deal with it. It's not going to bother me. Everybody in this world can hate me. I can have one view on this podcast and I'll be like, all right, I'm not necessarily doing it for the people out there. This is something I wanted to do. So I'm going to execute it. I'm going to do it. If it doesn't work out, fine. You know what? I'm going to learn something. I'll learn that either I do like this, I don't like this. I'll learn, hey, next episode, I got 2 viewers. Like, what am I doing good? It doesn't necessarily have to be a black and white line between success and failure. Okay. We can do things that we just want to try out, man. I didn't know anything about this. I'm like, hey, podcast, cool idea. I love to talk. I'm tired of writing, 7-page essays on Facebook to try and get all my points across. Ain't nobody reading that. Podcast. I could do that. Then I could explain myself. Better idea. So that's what I did. And you know what? Here's another example. This podcast recently, past couple episodes, actually been getting some views, man. I could share. I will. And I want you to look at this after you watch this podcast. There's 6 of y'all locally that watch this podcast. I am going to share this podcast on Facebook as a YouTube video. It will get less than 10 likes. But my actual YouTube video is going to get 10 to 12,000 views, 1,000, 2,000 likes. Bro, you can reach people. Do not judge your success or failure off whatever happens locally or what your friends say, what the community says. Man, it's a broad world out there. There are many different kind of people than what you're just used to here or the people you hang around here. We tend to get stuck in these echo chambers, man. It's what drives me crazy about like politics, stuff like that. You keep listening to the same people saying the same stuff over and over, birds of a feather. You're eventually going to get drawn into it, It can be a positive thing. It can be a negative thing. It tends, this group think and us getting stuck in these cliche groups and not expanding, it tends to mold our minds, right? And we get stuck in this groupthink mentality with who we're around, and it really prevents our creativity, our uniqueness, our independent thought, things like that. So I try and avoid that at all costs. I do think I have a benefit that I've learned a lot of people don't have, and that is the fact that somewhere in life, that whole caring about what other people think about me gene has dissipated. Like, it's not there. So I can come out and be myself and say what I want to say. And let's, let's say people flame me. They hate it. You gonna let me know on Facebook. You gonna unfriend me. You're gonna dislike this video. You're gonna do all that. I don't care, man. I don't care. Because as a human being, if you believe in yourself and you know that you're a good person and you know that the reason why you explore different outcomes or want to question authority or question different things or want to look at a different perspective than everybody else is telling you to look at, whether it's politics, life, just anything in general. I know that I'm a good person. I know that I have a good intent to seek out the truth. I don't have an angle. I don't care about this side or whatever else. I am seeking the truth, right? And I am willing to break down my own predetermined barriers or predetermined beliefs to seek out that truth. If it's something I would wholeheartedly disagree with, I don't shun it. I'm going to explore it. And you know what? If it changes my foundational belief, so be it. And you might be sitting there saying, oh, that's a cardinal sin. Don't do that. There's some things you just don't question. Man, BS. Let me tell you what, whether it's Christianity, whether it's morals, whether it's whatever it is that you were taught not to question, that's, to me, that's ridiculous. If it's such a hard found truth, what is the danger in me questioning it? See what I'm saying? If I'm going to believe something without question, that's a little bit dangerous. Is there a truth out there that cannot be questioned and determined as the ultimate truth? See what I'm saying? Question everything. If it's true, it will lead you maybe with a few discrepancies versus what you were taught, but it will lead you to your truth, man. And that's all I seek in this life. I just want to know truth. I want to think differently than everybody else. I don't want to take anybody's word for anything. I want to question everything I'm told, whether that's something about somebody, whether it's politics, whether it's life, whether it's business. If you come up to me and say, Joe, this is the ultimate truth, don't question it. I promise you, the first thing I'm going to do is go home and research it for probably like 2 days. I'm very analytical, right? And I know a lot of y'all out there are too. That's a good thing, man. Use that gift. Like, question everything. What is the problem with questioning what we've been taught? If it's true, we'll come back around to it. And if we don't, then all the better. We figured out something new in life. So I don't really know how I got off on that tangent. But my point to this whole thing was, if you have an idea and you believe in it, right? Don't seek validation from anyone else. I don't care if they're your best friend, they're your parents. I don't care who it is. If you believe in something, find out a way to make it work without the need for other people's approval. Okay? I think that's what this guy is going to try and do with Shreveport, which is why I'm okay giving him a shot. I do want to discuss his politics more. I don't know that much about him. I don't know if he believes that he can use the city government to solve all the problems. He may, which we're going to strongly disagree if he does. But if he's thinking the people are the solution rather than government policies and laws, I'm on board with him. So my point is, when I say that, I don't know. But I'm telling you this. He's one of the few that I'm willing to give a chance because he got heart and he truly does love the city that he's trying to represent. Okay? So anyway, just life stuff, man. The haters, they're everywhere. They are undercover too. So don't just think your haters are the people you don't talk to or your perceived enemies. The people that call themselves your friends, they're not rooting for you, okay? And I don't say that to make you sad or depressed, but it's just the reality. You have to understand that. So you got something you want to do, you go for it. don't talk about it. You know, you might have a friend or two that'll give you some solid advice, good or bad, and you want to take that criticism. But just remember, you don't start looking out there and saying, "Oh man, all my friends are telling me it's a bad idea. I shouldn't do it." I speak from experience when I tell you, if you listen to your friends, you're not going to succeed. And that if you don't listen to your friends, there are plenty of people across this. I'm selling in like 20 something countries. Plenty of people, plenty of fish in the sea that may like your idea. Because what happens is a lot of these people that are your friends will hear you excited about something that's going to improve your life, and they're thinking, well, I don't want to get left behind, so why should they succeed and not me? You know, it's kind of human nature, unfortunately. And don't get me wrong, it's not all your friends, but majority of them, majority of people, associates, things like that, it's a hater mentality, man. It's just out there. You know what I'm saying? I can put the most heartfelt, well thought out post on Facebook. I'm lucky if I get 3 likes. You know what I'm saying? But that, it doesn't bother me. I just, in my mind, I'm like, well, how can I improve it? Like, how can I make people understand my perspective more? Because I can relate to everybody out there that thinks a certain way, especially that's why, especially with politics. Like, I was there. I was the George Bush let's bomb everybody Republican fan at one point. That's what y'all don't understand. And being the analytical mind I am, I explored this further. And even to this day, I will hear something that goes against, say, a Republican talking point, and somewhere deep inside of me, like, I want to defend it, right? But I've spent the last 10 years trying to teach myself to not think like that, because there is so much stuff that I would have physically fought you about if you would have disagreed with me back in the day. And I've explored those topics, put in more thought, more research, listened to other perspectives on it, and completely 180, man. Completely 180. And I think you're seeing that a lot now. Like, you're seeing, people are kind of questioning the whole drug war thing. Like, I don't know. Should we be really like ruining people's lives for, having a little bit of marijuana? I don't condone that. I don't use it. But I don't like to tell people that they should or shouldn't do something. This is your brain on drugs. We all know, like, that marijuana is not quite the evil creature that they made it out to be. But, I got people that it's the devil, it's the gateway drug, it's the devil. Look, I don't have to agree with something to say it's not my right to tell Billy Bob that he can't choose what he puts in his own body. It's not for me, but maybe it benefits him. I mean, we've seen medical benefits. So, point being, man, we're taught a lot of BS growing up, a lot of propaganda. I mean, till what? Not that long ago, I still thought that if I swallowed my gum, my guts were going to get tied together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get warts if you touch frogs. If you handle snakes and get it in your eye, you'll go blind. I believed all that, man. There's a lot of things that we're taught, and some of them may even be for good reason, but it's not true. It's not true. So that's why we have to question everything. And unfortunately, we're at such a divisive point in humanity right now with politics and with everything else that it's invaded every part of our lives, and you kind of feel like you have to take sides. I mean, if there's a person out there saying one thing that I believe is so insane that I would never get on board with that, what's left for me? I need to go join this side. And yeah, I mean, they saying this and I feel a little weird about repeating that, but I'm not on that side, so I have to be on this side. completely wrecks our uniqueness as humanity and what made us great. And just having different perspectives and being able to communicate those different perspectives, that's the main problem, man. You can't talk about it. You have a different opinion than somebody on one of these emotionally charged topics, go ahead, post that on Facebook, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, me, I'm used to it. I'll battle it all day and night. I wrote a controversial LSU post today that I had to defend. And I'm not claiming to be the know-all on everything, but there are some things that I really have put in time into researching and looking at different perspectives. It's almost like when I got my master's degree in business, my MBA, our senior year, we had to create a business, come up with a whole, we did that. We worked on that for probably 3-4 months, something like that. And we won, our class won. We had actual business people from Shreveport, Bossier come in, judge, and our 3-4 man team won, A plus. But that was only a couple of months of putting in work to like really digging into something. But I'm trying to relate what I've put into politics, economics, a few other topics here in the past, 10 or 12 years, man. It's not a chore for me. It's not like having to do homework. I enjoy understanding what is happening with our country right now. So I have vastly researched these things. And when I've tried to get better. I used to just be like, I'm going to be an a-hole, be super sarcastic. But then I realized like that doesn't reach people. So then I tried to take it to a more educational approach, make these long drawn out posts, try and make people understand, how I got to that particular perspective. People don't want to read that. It's too long, right? So social media is a horrible way to try and explain or teach or educate. I hate using that word, but really to make other people see your point of view. It's a horrible venue. One of the reasons why I started this. But I say all that to say, man, there are a few topics, politics being one, that I have dove into balls deep. And I ain't talking about for the past week or 2 weeks. I'm talking about the better over a decade. There's some stuff that I've grinded on to learn more. And I don't do what a lot of people do out there where it's like confirmation bias, right? In other words, I Google a subject and maybe an opposing opinion pops up at the top. I start reading that and it's not what I want to hear. Close that out. I'm moving to the next one that agrees with what I want to hear. I don't do that, man. No matter how insane something is, I want to hear what the opposition says to it. I need to understand that perspective. And I think you truly have to reach that point to become professional or truly knowledgeable on a topic. Don't think it has anything to do with your education or anything like that. I think by now we've all realized like getting your piece of paper, although it may be important in a lot of industries, that doesn't judge a person's intelligence or abilities or anything like that, right? I know it's still prevalent, but man, I don't need, in my businesses, if I get to the point where I decide to hire someone, college degree is not really going to be the deciding factor on who I hire. Let me put it like that. I need work ethic. I need, intelligence. I need like a different perspective. I need someone who views the world a little bit different than the cliche that, the majority of people look at things. I want somebody to think, I want a unique person, man. Unique people are what keeps the world evolving and bettering itself. All right. If we all fell along the same lines of thinking and went along with the crowd on either this side, or even all together, there would be no innovation. there would, the great thinkers and great minds and great innovators, and there are some people that just think differently. Okay, they have different goals. They don't listen to what other people think. Like I was talking earlier, there are special minds on this earth that do great things, and without those minds, man, we're nothing. But my challenge to you is to be one of those great minds. I honest to God, what I love most about socializing is trying to form a relationship with someone that I don't know and truly like getting to know them and learning what makes them tick and hearing their perspectives on things. I believe that God has given us all, talents that mostly go to waste. We don't figure out how to use those properly to benefit ourselves financially, make us happy, the things we like to do. We waste it. And a lot of the reason we waste it is because our friends, our community, our jobs, our bosses, our, politicians tell us that our skill is worthless, right? And in order to be successful, you have to follow this path. You have to get a degree. You have to become a doctor or a lawyer let me tell you what, the wealthiest people in this world ain't drawing a salary, right? It's not a doctor or a lawyer. It's those weird people that you overlooked that had a certain talent, but that actually didn't listen to society and followed their belief in their talent and made something crazy, made something revolutionary. That's a skill that we all possess and that we all need to find and we all need to follow. I'm trying to get better about that. Look, my parents, my mom she's the queen. I say that with all seriousness. Like, my mom is the queen of this world. Now, she'll see this and cringe because she's super shy. She would give anyone the shirt off her back. But my mom, to me, is the greatest woman ever. Now, did my mom teach me all the beneficial things I would need to succeed in life? No. Did she not teach me those things because she was trying to harm me? Absolutely not. My mom was raised in a different generation, man. My mom was raised in a different community. My mom was raised in a place that is not that conducive to the real world of now. Okay, my mom taught me how to be a good person, which is all I could ever ask. Okay? But a lot of times we're not given the tools to succeed. And because of that, we stay lost, right? Like we live check to check. We feel like failures at times. We fail in relationships. We get fired from jobs. We don't feel like we're doing the best for our kids. Dude, life can be a struggle, man. It can be a true struggle. And if you let those negative thoughts consume you 24/7, you're going to have a rough time. So the point of this podcast is just to tell you out there that each one of us has a unique skill, right? Do not ever, like, if there's one thing you can hold on to, no matter how bad things get, I don't care what mistakes you've made, what mistakes you are making, the horrible things you've done, the crappy life that has turned out for you. There's one thing that holds true. There's something inside you that is special and unique and can be used to make your life more fulfilled. Okay? I'm not talking about spiritual stuff. That's a whole different situation that we'll have another podcast on. But I'm talking about things that you can do on this earth to feel productive, to feel achieved, fulfilled, things like that. We all possess that special talent. I don't care if everyone tells you you are a loser and you start believing it. Listen, there's something you have. You have to find that. You have to chase it. You have to block out the noise. Shake the haters off. They're everywhere. They are everywhere. Hustle in silence. Try and love one another, man. You know what I'm saying? Forget all the political crap and what you're supposed to believe. You know, this politician and, so-and-so thinks this way. I can never get along with them, bro. We're humans, right? And we're neighbors. We're meant to love each other. We're going to have differences, but we're still human, right? Don't lose that. Don't let those politicians take that from you, man. You can ask anybody on Facebook that has ever I got people that have DM'd me that would never even touch a like button on my post, but may ask for advice, ask for this. And you can ask anybody. You message me, I'm helping you, man. I'm doing what I can to help you. And I don't look for a pat on the back for that. I'm just saying, do it in silence, man. I don't need everybody to know what I'm doing in life. I know it's a big deal. Let's take pictures. Let's show them what we're doing. Let's live the high life. I got to look pretty. Put this filter on, bro. I've been on so many vacations. I don't even want to say vacations. I've been on so many trips that have no photo evidence, especially on social media. I'm fine with that. Because you know why? I ain't take that trip for y'all. I did it for me. I wanted to go to this place. I wanted to take a break and go out of town for a minute. I'm not trying to rub that in anybody's face, even the haters, as much as I'd like to. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad for what I'm doing that they're not doing. And I'm not saying like don't post your stuff on Facebook. I'm just saying for me, it's a non-issue. I'm not trying to put that out there. Like I'm living my life over here. And I ain't seen Joe post nothing or do nothing on Facebook in 6 months. Cause I'm loving life over here. We got bad shit on the horizon. Joe G is still living. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to prepare myself for whatever's coming. Trying to work the businesses. But it's like I said earlier, doing it in silence. And that is my recommendation for you. So listen to this podcast and just know, if no one else believes in you, Joe G does 100%. And if you find yourself in the pits of life and it's just beating the living shit out of you, dude, shoot me a message, shoot me a text, call me, whatever. Let's go hang out. Let's go have a drink and let's talk about it, man. Maybe I can help you get on the path you were meant to be on. Okay? So anyway, thank y'all for listening. I know it's short. I know it's been a while since I've done one, but I missed you guys. I just wanted to do a quick little Saturday night episode. Despite a LSU loss and all the sadness I feel right now, I'm still here talking to you guys. So, peace out. Love one another, man. Let's be kind to each other. Let's lift each other up. All right. Peace out. Love.